Right now, someone is persuading you to do something, and you have no idea it's happening. Every single day in 2026, you're exposed to over 10,000 persuasive messages. Ads, social media posts, requests from friends, sales pitches. But here's what most people don't know. There are exactly 7 psychological triggers that make humans say yes. And once you understand them, you'll see them everywhere. In every negotiation, every marketing campaign, every successful request. These aren't tricks or manipulation. They're hardwired into human psychology. Let me show you exactly how they work. Trigger number 1, reciprocity. This is the big one. When someone gives you something, you feel psychologically obligated to give something back. It's automatic, it's powerful, and it works every single time. Robert Cialdini, the godfather of persuasion psychology, discovered this in his groundbreaking research. He found that even tiny gifts create massive feelings of debt. Restaurants figured this out decades ago. When servers bring you a mint with your check, tips go up 3%. 2 mints? Tips jump 14%. But here's where it gets crazy. If the server brings 1 mint, walks away, then comes back and says this is just for you, and give a second mint, tips skyrocket 23%. Why? Because the reciprocity trigger isn't just about getting something. It's about feeling like someone went out of their way specifically for you. Studies from 2026 show that reciprocity works even stronger in digital spaces. Free trials, free content, free samples. They all trigger the same psychological debt. Trigger number 2, scarcity. Our brains are wired to want what we can't have. When something becomes less available, we don't just want it more. We perceive it as more valuable, even if nothing about the thing itself has changed. This is why flash sales work, why limited editions sell out instantly, why only 3 seats left messages make you panic by plane tickets at 2 in the morning. There's a famous study where researchers told people they could have cookies from a jar. When the jar was full, people were interested. But when they showed people a jar with only 2 cookies left, people rated those exact same cookies as more desirable, more delicious, and more valuable. Here's the kicker. The scarcity principle works even better when you tell people why something is scarce. We're down to our last 10 units because demand has been unprecedented. That sentence activates both scarcity and social proof at the same time. Persuasion on steroids. Trigger number 3, authority. We are hardwired to obey experts. The famous Milgram experiments proved this in terrifying ways. People administered what they thought were dangerous electroshocks just because someone in a lab coat told them to. Now, we're not talking about doing anything harmful here, but the principle is clear. When we perceive someone as an authority, we automatically trust their recommendations. This is why doctor recommended sells products, why a scene on TV works, why influencers with millions of followers move markets. But you don't need to be famous to use authority. Studies show that just mentioning relevant credentials before making a request increases compliance by over 40%. Research from 2026 found something fascinating. In our skeptical digital age, authentic expertise matters more than ever. People can smell fake authority instantly. The key? Demonstrate your authority subtly. Share specific knowledge. Reference real experience. Let your expertise show naturally through value, not bragging. Which brings us to trigger number 4, commitment and consistency. Once we make a choice or take a stand, we feel pressure to behave consistently with that commitment, even if the original decision was tiny. This is the foot in the door technique. Get someone to agree to something small first. Then the big request becomes much easier. Researchers tested this by asking people to put a tiny safe driving sticker in their window. 2 weeks later, they asked if they'd put a giant billboard in their front yard. People who agreed to the sticker were 4 times more likely to accept the billboard because they'd already committed to being the type of person who supports safe driving. The principle works because being inconsistent makes us feel uncomfortable. We want our actions to match our self-image and our previous statements. That's why public commitments are so powerful. Once you tell people you're going to do something, you're way more likely to follow through. In 2026, this shows up everywhere. Fitness apps that let you share your goals. Donation websites that make your contribution public. They're all using commitment and consistency. Trigger number 5, social proof. We look to others to determine our own behavior. When we're uncertain about what to do, we assume that other people know something we don't. So we copy them. This is why laugh tracks work on sitcoms. Why long lines outside restaurants make you want to eat there. Why bestseller labels sell more books. One study found that hotel guests were 33% more likely to reuse towels when the sign said most guests in this room reuse their towels. Social proof works best when the people we're copying are similar to us. That's why testimonials from people like you are so effective. Trigger number 6. Liking. We say yes to people we like. This sounds obvious, but the psychology behind it is fascinating. Physical attractiveness, similarity, compliments, and cooperation all increase liking, and each one makes people more likely to comply with your requests. Tupperware figured this out in the 1950s. They built an empire on house parties where friends sell to friends, because we find it nearly impossible to say no to people we like. If you found this valuable, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more people discover these insights. Now here's trigger number 7, and this might be the most powerful one. Unity, the sense that we share an identity with someone. Unity goes beyond liking. It's about being part of the same tribe, family, or group. When someone is one of us, we'll do almost anything for them. Cialdini added this as a 7th principle in 2026 after years of new research. He found that unity is actually stronger than liking or similarity. This is why brands create communities, why political movements use us versus them language, why people will pay more for products from their hometown. The most persuasive word in any language? We. When you shift from me to we, you activate the unity principle instantly. So there you have it. 7 triggers that shape every decision humans make. Reciprocity, scarcity, authority, commitment, social proof, liking, and unity. Now that you know them, you'll start seeing them everywhere. In every ad, every pitch, every request. And here's the thing, you can't unsee them. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you use it ethically to create genuine win-win situations? Or will you fall victim to others using it on you? Understanding persuasion isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding human nature. And when you understand what drives human behavior, you can communicate more effectively, negotiate better outcomes, and yes, get more people to say yes to you. These 7 principles have been tested in thousands of studies across decades. They work because they're based on how we're wired as humans. They're not going away. The most successful people in 2026 aren't the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who understand influence. Now you're one of them.